let's get your answer to that poll question first. Will Farage be the next Prime Minister? Yes or no?
I think he will be, George, definitely, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a long way to go, of course. A week's a long time in politics, and the next general election, alas, is many, many weeks away. But he's now 12 points ahead of Labour, the governing party, and the Tories are in fourth place behind Sir Ed Davey of the Liberal Democrats. Doesn't get much more ignominious than that, does it?
It doesn't, George, and it's not entirely surprising, having looked at the state of the Tory party over the last 14 years under successive Conservative prime ministers. But, you know, I think there is a potential real opportunity for Nigel Farage to take power. They're polling incredibly highly. And as a former colleague of Nigel in the Brexit Party, he's a pretty determined guy. He's a smart guy. He's a great orator, like you. And I think that he will probably stomp home at the next general election. But of course, you're quite correct to say a week in politics is a long time. We've got several years to go before we see that playing out, unless something very significant was to happen where there was maybe a crisis in government and an early election could be called. And that is also possible.
Yeah, although it's much more likely an early defenestration of the Prime Minister replaced by somebody almost as bad as him within the ruling party. But you've just been in Hungary, and I read your reports from there with great interest. The Prime Minister there, Viktor Orban, he has struck an increasingly isolated figure in the EU. I sometimes think he's the only leader who's actually really standing up to what has become an EU dictatorship. I mean, we always, you and I, as Brexiteers, we always said things about the European Union which other people struggled sometimes to see, but it's out in the open now that the EU is an unelected tyranny, and the government of Hungary, with the Slovakian leadership maybe in second place, are the only people standing up to it.
Absolutely right. And just before I went to Hungary, I was in Romania campaigning on behalf of George Simeon to become president. And there's all sorts of unanswered questions there as well. You know, Romania is a great country. It was my first time there. It's also my first time in Budapest, but you're quite correct. And they, in Hungary, are being fined €1 million per day because he doesn't follow the tune of Brussels. It is a tyranny, George. You're quite correct.